This is just black-green Wolf Run, or Wolf Run Jund, you know?
You know, people have started splashing white in the Wolf Run decks and had a lot of success with it. And, you know, black has some powerful tools at its disposal. You have Liliana, and Black Sun Zenith and Grave Titan. And
Liliana's removal. And Garruk is removal. Like, Garruk, Relentless, and Liliana, those are removal spells.
Oh, here we are. We're in the game.
All right. Already we've seen a rampant growth on turn 2 by Thomas, fixing his colors with Matt Scott, no 1-drop. Huh. Coming back to bite him, the cutting of a 1-drop.
And he top decks a bird.
Turn 2 bird. Which doesn't matter. I mean, I guess he doesn't have any 2-drops anyway, so.
Yeah.
Another rampant growth. And already, Thomas is... No, he hasn't played a land for the turn yet.
No, he's not played a land.
If he doesn't play one, that's kind of a bad sign. He does not.
He does not.
So that means probably Simulacrum next turn. He's just doing this the hard way.
Yeah.
It's so weird to have so few targets for his green sun. Wow, this is not a good start by Matt. If he literally by turn 3 can't even produce a threat.
Yeah, it's really rough for him.
I wonder about
normally
keeping
he
this.
should have. Yeah, normally he should have like
what was his
a
hand?
hero and at least another threat.
What hand did you keep? He didn't have the bird or the pilgrim on turn 1. So he's drawn bird and pilgrim. So what was his hand that he kept that had 2 forests, a razor verge thicket, and no spells he could cast?
I have no idea what he could have kept.
It's
very, very odd to me.
He didn't have Mirror Crusader last turn. He doesn't.
Yeah.
I don't know. This doesn't. Well, maybe it's a lot of O-rings?
A lot of Elspeths? There's an Elspeth.
There's an Elspeth.
Just going to go ahead and make some 1/1s.
For sure.
Now, Thomas may just Black Sun Zenith here.
Black Sun Zenith or a Titan, either one. I mean, things are... Wolf Run Jund.
Things are gravy in the Navy right now.
Like the fact that
for the Wolf Run Jund.
He's at 20 when he has 6 mana in play, and he's not even running close to facing a clock, like a lethal clock. Like it's several turns. I mean, do you think Matt's going to overrun? I mean, is that actually a clock? Like, is that game if he plays a land and overruns? How funny is it? I mean,
it's 19 damage. Land overrun. Right?
Sadly, it is. I mean, that's a clock.
It is a clock. Karn.
Well,
have a card in your
I
hand
mean,
for the game?
That's something.
Yeah, it's not really what you'd expect. And I mean, it's actually...
He hits the Gavani, which is actually not too bad. It prevents a ton of damage in the event that there's an overrun. Mm-hmm. But it also helps make sure that this initial assault doesn't grow, because maybe he doesn't have an overrun. Mm-hmm. Maybe he's just going to be riding the Elspeth. Karn not at his best against tokens, but not terrible.
I mean, when you can cast that spell, it's obviously very powerful.
It's going to be something good, but... I mean, Karn's got to be at his best when he hits a Sphinx, right? Like, that's Karn's...
That's his bread and butter.
Like, that's the move, right? Like, that's... Yep, going over the top. Definitely a weird game. I got to imagine Matt's hand. I mean, he only has one more card. So I guess he had to have kept, like Elspeth, 5 land, and an O-ring?
So his last card's an Oblivion Ring, we can assume, right?
Or I guess it could be a Garruk Primal Hunter? No, he doesn't play Garruk Primal Hunter. I guess it could be another Elspeth? That'd be really weird.
That'd be very...
It's got to be O-ring. Or no, because maybe you keep Elspeth Overrun thinking that's going to be your play, but that's so slow. Who knows? Maybe he just comes from the Louise school of not mulliganing.
Yeah. Gerard Fabiano school of not mulligans.
Mulligan a negative number of times. All right, so we see the sweeper. Is this the Black Sun?
It's
that's Life's Finale.
So
Life's Finale. He's surely just going to pull a bunch of
Mirror Crusaders.
There's Geist Honored Monk too.
Yeah, Mirror Crusader's probably not even that big of a deal for him, considering he has. It's a little weird that he.
He's definitely eyeing those Crusaders. He's eyeing the hero, the Crusader. There's no way he takes a mix.
Yeah, that's impossible.
So he's pulled out. He has pulled out. Is it two heroes and
the Geist-honored monk?
2 heroes and a Geist-honored monk.
Yeah.
Makes me wonder: does Matt just have a Geist-honored monk in his hand? Is that the other thing? Because it could be a 5-drop. And he's playing 2 in his deck. Why would Thomas only pull out 1? It didn't look like Thomas actually slowed down to count the number of Elspeths or whatever, or O-rings or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, one of the true values of having a card like Life's Finale is the information you get from it.
So this doesn't bode well for Matt Scott. He does have the land though, so he's going to be able to crusade his guys, but basically any expensive spell is going to be real bad for him. Which one is that one? Is that Grave Titan? Looks like he's getting tokens.
Titan.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that is
so
quite bad for his opponent.
He's going to need... Well, he does get to make all his guys 3/3s in time to stop the zombie tokens, or to have 2 of them trade with Grave Titan. Is that Liliana also?
Yes.
So he gets to take the card out of Matt's hand if he wants?
Yeah, I think that's got to be the play.
Well, I don't know. It depends on what Thomas's card is, 'cause it looks like Thomas only has 1.
That's true.
Yeah, he does go for the Edict, just...
Yeah, next turn he might, like, top deck a land. And then... I don't know, though. I mean, like, you haven't given your opponent an opportunity to Oblivion Ring anything yet.
It doesn't matter. I still think you Liliana Edict, the way he did it, because clearly there's a good card in his hand. If he had a blank, then he could discard, but... As it is now, he's forcing Matt to blow the Elspeth to present more of a board.
Mm-hmm.
And this really is a lot of tokens. I mean, we're talking about 2 3/3s which hold off the zombies and threaten to trade with the Grave Titan. And 5 guys, I mean,
especially with the Township,
it's something. At least he's got something going on. So,
it's going to make
ticking
Matt
up.
Scard. So Scard's a hero.
Without those mana creatures.
And
with no bird or pilgrim, he's still a little bit, he doesn't have the double white.
Yeah, he cast a Green Sun Zenith for 7 mana, and he's going to get a Primeval Titan, which is going to search up Keswick Wolf Run, and
Inkmoth Nexus for a change? Mind blowing.
Yeah.
There's always so much more drama with Valakut. Are they going to get 2 Valakuts? 2 mountains? A Valakut and a mountain? This one, it's usually just the Keswick Wolf Run and the Inkmoth Nexus. So, Grave Titan, swinging by itself.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
Matt's got to trade here, right?
Yes. I mean, he's got to trade the 2 guys, I think.
I think you got to, right?
There's no way you could possibly...
Well, he has to win the race, too, though. Like, he's facing a 2-turn clock because of the Nexus, right? If he... Maybe he gives himself more outs to try to draw Overrun or something. Like, what if he just can't beat the board and he figures the only way he can win is to draw Overrun, and if he throws away his 2 guys, he won't even have Overrun as an out? Because the game isn't to lose by a smaller margin, of course. But he has no way to stabilize. He cannot stop the Nexus thing. I mean, he could draw a Mortar Pot, I guess. But there's a Primeval Titan in play, too.
Would an Overrun be good enough right now? So, let's count.
What line, like, if he blocks,
2, 10,
how is he even getting ahead?
11, 12,
like, I think
12
he can't
plus
block.
15 is 27, minus 8 is 19, minus 6
That's 14.
is 14. Yeah, that Overrun's lethal.
If he doesn't block.
Well, no, if he blocks with everything.
If he blocks the Grave Titan? Oh, no, you're saying if Thomas... Right, if he doesn't block the Grave Titan is what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's lethal by 1 point of damage.
Right, so he needs to not block, which he did.
And he drew the Overrun.
Are you serious?
Yep.
Are you serious? If that... Oh my! If Matt actually just drew the over, he set himself up. To give himself the 2-outer. Doesn't make the easy play. Like, it's so, you're instinctually, you want to block the Grave Titan there, right? He does the math, decides, you know what, I can't win unless I hit my 2-outer. I'm just going to go for it. Give myself 1 turn to draw a 2-outer. And he actually gets there. Good for him.
Yeah.
That was
awesome.
That was good for him. So, he can't even help it. He's got the smile. He knows.
Wow. And Matt's pretty good
Play
player.
good, run good.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Good for him. That was exciting.
I mean, that's pretty... Thomas has to be a little bit weirded out by the fact that, he had 7 lands in play when his opponent had no threats on the table.
You know what's funny? Thomas probably made a mistake.
Thomas
He didn't need to attack with the Grave Titan. No, I'm saying if he just didn't attack with the Grave Titan.
Yeah, then he almost assuredly
Are there
wins,
no?
right?
Does Scott have any outs? Because he lost 2 points of soaking up trample damage.
So he would have been at 1 after the overrun.
Right.
And then he would have killed enough guys.
Both of his Titans would live.
Both of his Titans.
And he had Kestig Wolf run, Inkmoth Nexus,
his Titans
11
wouldn't
mana.
live because he has to.
He has to soak up the full
block,
6 each.
He has to soak up the full 6 each.
Yeah, okay, so he doesn't have the Titans. But he does have Kestig Wolf run, Inkmoth Nexus, and 11 land total, which is not enough to kill in 1 hit from the Nexus. But, no, maybe it was the right play, because maybe he just can't beat Overrun anyway.
Yep. I mean, I think he should have plussed the Liliana instead of making his opponent sacrifice a guy.
You doing it earlier?
Yeah, maybe that Overrun was already in Matt's hand. Maybe Matt was setting that up the whole time.
Where his hand was just Overrun, Elspeth, 5 land. And he's like, I'll keep these 5.
I mean, I
Probably.
think he mulliganed, right?
Oh, did he?
Because if his hand was only that many cards, that would mean that he kept
I guess he had to have kept 4... He must have mulliganed, because he kept 4 land, Elspeth, and another card.
Yeah.
Which could have been the hero, and he just never got a chance, except the turn that he had Elspeth. Or it was... I think it was the hero, though. I think his opening hand was hero, Elspeth...
4 lands?
No, because he didn't play the hero. He had 4 mana 1 turn, didn't he?
But he hit 4 mana the same turn that he...
Had 5?
He had 5, yeah.
You're right. Yeah, so he could have kept hero, Elspeth, 4 land.
Which, on a mulligan to 6, like...
Keep that.
You keep that.
You're not happy.
Yeah, it's not a good thing, but...
So, the lack of defense from Thomas Cow turned out to not be the deciding factor, more the inability to put Matt on a fast enough clock.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, when you're playing with no counter spells, you can't stop the top of his deck. What's he bringing in?
Sever the Bloodline?
He's got Sever the Bloodline's real good.
Phyrexian Crusader?
Absolutely. Ratchet Bomb?
Ratchet Bomb, also really good.
And then, what do you think about Beast Within? Is he going to consider it to fight Planeswalkers? Or do you think that's the wrong way?
I don't know. I feel like that might not be the best plan because, like, you're giving him more to, like, do what his deck wants to do. Like, his deck just wants more guys. So, like, killing a card and giving him a guy.
But what about O-Ring? Like, what if you hit the other guy's O-Ring and you just get your Titan back at surprise, like instant speed? Or is that going to not come up very often?
I mean, I guess that's
something, but that's a hard way to do it.
Yeah, it's a lot of work. I feel like I don't really know what you shave if you're gonna. Like, Karn is getting cut. Liliana is probably getting cut. So he's gonna need like 6 cards, right? So Sever, Phyrexian Crusaders.
That's 4.
Ratchet Bomb is 5.
That's an easy 5.
Yeah.
Batterskull's not the worst.
Yeah, it could be.
Or Worm Coil. One of them. It's something.
It could just be Naturalize.
I don't like Naturalize. I guess. Oh no, it hits Golems.
Yeah, it hits Golems. It hits Oblivion Rings.
Of course, yeah.
And
he doesn't know about the sword.
He doesn't know about the sword, but it does hit it.
It hits Mortar Pods, sort of, but that's not really a good way to do it.
It's not like how you want to.
So Scott is looking to sideboard in Acidic Slime for one thing. Probably another sort of Feast and Famine. I wouldn't be surprised if he boards in more Garuks. Just, if you get your Garuk Relentless down beforehand, you start making tokens and you proactively stop the other guy's Garuk.
So Thomas has a lot of kind of like random stuff in his sideboard now. token decks are pretty popular in this metagame. Do you think that a few Curse of Death's Hold could perhaps give Thomas's deck like the power it needs to be something that's really good?
I mean, I think Curse of Death's Hold would be a good addition. I don't know if it's at its very best here because I think Curse of Death's Hold doesn't want to be the low end of your curve. Like, he's got so much heavy stuff already. He's already trying to play power cards at 5 and 6.
Yeah.
It works a little better with the cheap black cards.
Yeah. My 26 land mono black Infect deck is better for...
Right, exactly. Here, I mean, he needs to be playing power cards at 5 and 6 anyway, just for his baseline strategy. Where Curse really shines is if you've got a lot of good 3s and 4s, you know? But it's still good here just because you need something, especially since he has no early defense. But I would almost imagine more Ratchet Bombs.
And there's Matt Scott without a 1-drop again, and we've seen how. And this game is going to be different.
This is going to be a really hard one. Garruk Relentless comes down before a single creature on Matt Scott's side.
What did it do?
It made beat with the wolves.
Okay.
The same thing
Yeah,
it always
I thought he passed.
Oh no!
I was confused.
So I'm not sure I agree with Matt how he plays this really controlling. Like, maybe it just looks that way because he hasn't drawn the 1-drops, but.
I mean, maybe that's just how he plays the deck. Like I've had people play the green-white like township deck like very controlling fashion against me online, and they always end up losing to Curse of Death's Hold. But
now, did we just see a Kessig Wolf run pump for 2?
I think we did.
That's disappointing.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the right thing. When he's at 5 mana and did stone nothing, go ahead and take your Time Walk with that Oblivion Ring. So Matt Scott, 4 land, good mix. You know, the perfect mana plus Gavoni Township. Cow's got, he's up to 5 mana, but presumably he starts dropping Titans next turn.
Yeah, he has the bird that he played last turn also, so...
Oh, so he's definitely ahead of the, you know, one way or the other, he's playing some kind of a boom next turn. Geist Honored Monk.
It's a good one.
It's a reasonable card. Now, what are we going to see? Are we going to see... So he's got access to anything. We're going to see Green Sun Zenith go find Primeval Titan?
I don't know. So many options.
Like, in the dark, that's the most mana-efficient one. Like, if he had every card in his deck in his hand, which he very well might not. I mean, maybe he just thinks Grave Titan's the best. Wow, so he sends with this because he figures, oh, there's no way the guys can actually block here. I'm not sure I don't block if I'm Matt.
You got to.
Like, what if you just call here and make him waste his mana? He's not going to not play a Titan. This seems like such a bad attack unless you... This seems like such a... Oh, and Scott calls. I love the way that Scott's playing. He called, he blocked. Oh, I think Thomas actually should just let the wolf go. Suck it up, he called. Sometimes you just gotta... Don't throw good money after bad. Did you really not play your Titan for the turn? What is...
Yeah.
Oh, no! Now, maybe he just doesn't...
playing well.
Maybe he just doesn't have a Titan in his hand. Why didn't he tap all of his mana and trample over it?
He's got to at least have a... That's it.
Wow.
Yeah. And Matt's just
Did
playing...
he just discard a Wormcoil Engine? That's the Wormcoil he could have played last turn if he just sucked it up, swallowed his pride, binned his 2/2. Sometimes they call and you don't really have it. Bin your 2/2, play your Wormcoil, and you'll probably win anyway. Wow. That was the best call.
But I mean, you have to call there. Like, what's
you
he
have to,
have?
right?
What's he gonna have?
Right, even if it's on board. It's the Kessig Wolf run, but you want him to spend your mana.
Exactly.
You got to just pick up your guy, put it in the bin, smile. You gotten. Just play your Wormcoil and hope that's enough. So, and now Matt has run away with it. He's got a sword on his token. He's got Garruk. He's making guys. He's got Gavoni Township next turn. He's threatening lethal, and Thomas has decided to commit a Titan to the board. Oh no, it's a Wrath this time. Which one is this one? Is this Black Sun? It looks like he's shuffling it back in. So this is Black Sun Zenith, which sadly, well, it may be a Wrath, doesn't actually stop the sword or the Garruk or the Gavoni Township. He's way behind because he spent a turn trying to not look dumb for losing the 2-2, you know? I mean, it's not that
Sometimes
dumb,
you
because
just gotta suck it up.
that's the exact type of play. That is a good play in general. It's just this one tactical situation. It was the wrong place.
The other thing is that, like, when you're at 6 lands, like, your opponent is, if your opponent's good, if they're worth their salt, they're like, well, I'd much rather him kill my Geisthunter monk than...
But, like, in limited, if this was in limited, the intuitive play would be to attack first.
Yes, in limited.
Because you don't know that he's got a Titan. You don't know that 6 mana is when he's doing his best thing.
But Matt Scott saw in Game 1 Primeval Titan, Grave Titan, and Karn. Matt Scott is like, considering the cards that are in your deck, I would much rather.
All right, so Thomas draws and plays. Is this a Grave Titan? It looks like it is. Which is pretty good, but he's facing an Elspeth, a Garruk, 3 tokens, a sword, a township, and Garruk is a turn away from ultimate.
Garruk's turn away from ultimate? Yeah. That's pretty rough.
I don't know that. I mean, he has Life's Finale, so it's not even clear you'd want to ultimate Garruk. But it's certainly not clear that you wouldn't. I mean, he's got a lot of mana. He could just draw 4 cards, too. You probably don't do that, though. You probably just make another beast, gain a bazillion life with your Elspeth, make things real tough for Thomas. I don't know, though, because Thomas has he has the Planeswalker. I mean, he has the Death Touch creature.
He activates Gavany Township, then he has Sort of Feast and Famine, which gets through the Grave Titan, then he gets to activate Gavany Township again.
Oh, wow.
He gets the...
He actually can activate Gavany Township 3 times this turn if he wanted.
Build your own overrun. Permanent overrun.
So he is not going to draw the cards. He just wants to set Garruk to lethal.
I like that.
Now, Garruk's going to most likely die anyway, because the Grave Titan has Death Touch, which combines very well with Kestic Wolf Run. Mm-hmm. Every creature that gets in the way can only step up 1 damage, and the rest is going to trample over and kill that Garruk. The thing is, if he activates Gavany Township 3 times this turn...
Thomas is, like, dead.
Like... I mean, he's not dead this turn. He's just going to throw away his board to not be dead this turn.
Yeah.
No, the sword hits, and he's facing about, what is that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
yeah, Matt's gonna float
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 18, 20,
no,
20.
he didn't float the 2.
He didn't?
No.
That seems like a punt.
Yeah.
No, it looks like he did float the 2.
Oh,
he probably just said it.
Okay.
Yeah. Wait, what did he just put down?
Oh, never mind. Just cast a Blade
That's a Blade Splicer. No, he didn't. He didn't float the mana. It doesn't matter anyway, though, because he's got 5 mana, so he's just waiting till his opponent's... Yeah, it's actually better this way, because he wanted to cast that Blade Splicer to put the counters on. Now, it's not clear that the Blade Splicer wouldn't be better in his hand to protect against the Life's Finale, but he's got multiple Planeswalkers in play, too, so I think he'll actually be alright.
Yeah, having an Elspeth at 4 and a
Garruk at 6.
Garruk at 6 is probably enough.
And I think this is it. Oh, he's got the overrun. Well, that does it then.
Yes.
Right.
The overrun will be plenty.
The overrun. You think
the overrun will be plenty.
Let's see. So doing the math, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Wait. 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Then I took the tokens off, then so now I'm confused again. It's in the 40s.
18, 24, 30, no, 26, and then 6 guys, 3 townships, 6, 18, 48. I think it's 48.
Yeah. That's a lot of damage.
Thomas can soak up 10. All right.
Not going to do it. 38 damage is a lot of damage.
So that was a real quick, that's the match. Green-white tokens defeats handedly.
It wasn't actually that fast. Like, that was a half-hour-long match.
Yeah, I guess there just weren't that many turns.
Yeah.
I mean, it was very compact. There was a lot going on.
Mm-hmm.
But that's definitely, it seemed like the lack of early defense was surprisingly not the factor. I think actually, after having watched the matches, Curse of Death's Hold would actually be the, I mean...
Yeah, exactly.
Or Ratchet Bomb. Ratchet Bomb would be amazing.
So real quick, guys. SCG Live is brought to you by StarCityGames.com, and we're happy to offer an original line of exclusive sleeves and deck boxes featuring never-before-seen tribal themes created by artist Justin Treadway. Our first series features 8 unique pieces